Everyone, so we are on a cross-country trip. So a few years back when we first moved onto the boat, we went from the northern tip of the United States all the way down to the most eastern tip of the United States, down to Florida. And now we're going to the western side to San Diego. So the first part of our trip, we spent a week in Panama City Beach in Florida. It's in the Panhandle near Pensacola, and the kids had fun at the beach. There's a lot of shells and stuff our wanted to collect. We got to see sunset there. Gabriel just loved running around and jumping on the beach. But I don't know, what do you think about the rest of Panama City?
It was much colder than southern Florida.
That was freezing.
And it's like off season, so there's nobody there. Like, I'm not sure if it's like post-COVID or just completely. It feels like a ghost town. If it just literally is only in the summer, it feels like there's something going on. But it's fine. But the beach was beautiful, and that's nice. But it's kind of cold weather for it.
We've done okay with Airbnbs mostly, and this one was like a complete wash. When we first went in, I don't think they had it rented in a little while, and the AC was off, and there was a layer of moisture over everything in the whole place, which was just sort of gross. So we turned on the AC, and then also turned on the heater because it was getting cold. So the AC just to dehumidify it, and then it took us about a day to dry it out. But then the sheets were like itchy, and like I got like a little rash from it just from laying on it for a little while. So we ended up going out and buying new sheets. But $20.
They might have been moldy.
$20 was not the worst thing in the world. But it was pretty chill community. They definitely had not seen people walking cats before, so we got talked to by about everyone there. But after that, the next main part of our journey, we went to Austin, Texas, where my brother and his wife, so Abel and Jenny, live, and then the city below it in Kyle, my sister, lives. So we spent a few nights there, and that was really great. We hadn't seen them in about a year, and we hadn't been to Texas in
10 years.
Yeah, a very long time. So
yeah, it was just so good to see the family and just chill. We didn't really have like an agenda, but they, like, with our last minute coming, they rearranged their schedules and shifts at work, and were able to like hang out. Everyone was able to hang out for a day, so that was pretty great. And now we're headed west again. Not sure what we're gonna see. We haven't driven any further west before.
It's showing we have about 19 hours till we get to San Diego, so probably gonna stop in the middle. Looks like maybe New Mexico, but we're just gonna go as far as it's making sense and then find a place to stop. Either Airbnb or just a motel somewhere just to sleep for the night. But yeah, we'll keep you informed of what we're doing. If we see anything cool, we'll try to get a video of it. Grace has not been super successful with that so far.
Every time we see like entering Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas signs, I tried to get a picture too late. But yeah, that was kind of a fail. So, I mean, there's not really much to see. We're taking Route 10, and it was just like the scenery was pretty much the same the whole way.
Yeah, Florida is a very large state, and mostly our vibe is the Keys or Miami. The rest of Florida is not really our jam. I can totally see why people like different sections. It just doesn't fit our family so well. And then, well, mostly from what we've seen in a lot of this area from Florida to Texas too. definitely. Maybe a vacation, especially if you're going for a reason, but
Like
not something we would stay
family.
long term.
Yeah, not preferred.
But
We have seen some cows. A lot of cows on the side of the road. And yesterday I saw 3 pigs. 2 black pigs and a light colored pig. That was random.
But it's been a good trip so far. We had the option of flying, which between the layovers it would have been like a 10 or 11 hour day, and definitely Cypher could do it, but he does really well in the car, and we don't mind the car, and we had a little bit extra time to do this trip, so it seemed like a fun thing to do as a family. When I was 5, my whole family went from Maine to California and back, and that was kind of memorable for everyone. Me and my younger brother, not as much as everyone else because we were so young, but if you have the time, something you should do. See what the whole country's like.
Yeah, I'm hoping we come upon some mountains. Not that I want it to be super cold, but I think mountains are like a nice change of scenery. Actually,
Hopefully by the end of the day we'll be getting close.
When we were in Austin, we did see 40-degree weather, and there was some perfect circles of hail, like sleet type mixed rain coming down. So it is pretty cold.
Yeah, in Panama City, we had some nights that were under 40, so it was getting pretty chilly.
Some days in the 40s, yeah. Need a little different clothes than the Keys.
Well, we got to try out a Jamaican restaurant in Panama City, and we had only been to 1 or 2 others before, but Jamaican food is really good. Their main a very big distinction between theirs and a lot of other foods is they do the jerk seasoning. So and Alana and I got some jerk goat, and Gabriel and Grace got some jerk chicken. And there's not a lot of places you can get goat either at a restaurant, so it's something different. It tastes really good, so it was a nice outing that we had for that. So we're still in Texas, and I think we're in what would be the foothills of the Rockies, but they all look very sandy. It's almost like huge anthills, like the anthills of the Rockies. So we're at our last rest stop before we get to our hotel, and before it's dark. So I'll take Cypher. Gonna give Cypher a little walk, because we've been in the car for a pretty long time, like 6 or 7 hours. So he's ready to get out a little bit, and then tomorrow we're going to do a little bit of exploring. That's not going to be in the car all day, so that should be fun. So since leaving my brothers, I think this is what the kids have been most excited about in New Mexico.
There's no way in the world men will put up with hot flash. No way in the world. I think if a man had 2 hot flash. Hey, man, we're at the Oscars. Last MC by Jimmy Kimmel in 2018. The show.
So we're in New Mexico, and we're going to go to a pretty awesome place. It's called the White Sand Dunes National Park, and I'm not sure exactly what to expect, but from the pictures, it looks like blazing white sand that just looks like from another world. So
yeah, they say on advertisement it's like the Caribbean in the middle of the mountains, like because the sand's so white. And we got here last night in the dark. We woke up and there's all these awesome like super jagged mountains and stuff. So I'm excited to get to see the area a little bit.
Yeah, we'll do a little hiking, and I think a little piece of the Caribbean is what we need right now anyway, so
everybody's super friendly so far, and that's really nice too. So
yeah. So we'll talk to you when we're there. So, first impressions of the place, it's pretty awesome. It kind of reminds me of Star Warsy. They even have like Pueblo Indian gift shop building, and that's like also very like Star Warsy, like Tatooine.
Maybe some Jawas will show up soon.
The kids are sledding, so they're having a lot of fun. Cypher's playing, so.
Totally awesome. Some lady came up and had already bought and used a sled and wax and just offered it to the kids.
And I thought that's what it was. It just looks so cool.
Yeah, this is like the snowfields on top of Sugarloaf.
I really
But
like,
sand.
I really like the ripples of sand. Yeah. I came over here and I found a spot with a bunch of really cool rocks. Right here, you can see some that I found. And some of these look like they're some rocks that you found that I saw in the gift shop, which are cool.
Your tumbleweed.
Here it is. Well, I thought it was pretty great. Like, it was really cool to just look out and like see the mountains, and they're like a little blurred, so it like looked like otherworldly just being out there. And like the ripples on the sand, I really like that. Like, Dad came up with this great thing to say about them, like the world's slowest waves. I really like that. Yeah. Oh, I know. One more thing. I really like to just lay in the sand, and it would just be like coolness. Since the sand is like, I don't know. Mom said that like it's an extra cold type of sand, so I would just lay in it, and it would be like coldness radiating into me. It was pretty cool, the place. I thought it's pretty awesome that if you look at the sand of Pacific Way, it'll be really sparkly, and it's super white, which I like. And I thought it was really fun to see some tumbleweed, I mean. And I liked sledding down the hills.
I'm really happy that we're able to be barefoot with this experience, walking like, 5 miles in the dunes, sand dunes. Because with shoes on, it would have been a whole different world of discomfort and aggravation. It was so nice to be barefoot with the cool, clean sand in between your toes, and even like going down the dunes. You could just casually walk down as your feet slid into the sand, and it was nice and cool, and like it felt just like nice. A cool fact that I read at the visitor center is that the shallowest part of the white sand here, you can still dig down 30 feet and still get sand in the shallowest part. So this is really like a deep deposit of this kind of white sand, which is kind of cool. And something that I really liked was going right when you got to the top of the sand dunes. I could look out over everything like you do when you get to the top of a mountain to go snowboarding, and you just like get that awesome feeling of like just this, like the snowfields on top of Sugarloaf. There's like no trees and it's just mountains and gorgeous. So it was pretty great.
Everyone had a pretty good time. The last thing we did was a 5-mile hike around the sand dunes, and it was pretty far. I mean, we definitely hiked that far in different places, but the amount of time we spent there, I think, somewhat makes it's like completely foreign at the beginning, and then by the end, you're kind of like, yep, another sand dune, which is funny how quickly that novelty wears off after 3 hours or so. But it's a very cool place. Definitely suggest anyone around this area to visit it. And I'm sure there's plenty other places with sand dunes in the world, and seems like something that would be worth the experience to go to see now that I've experienced it in different places, like in different places in Africa, and places have some amazing sand dunes and deserts. And we're in the winter right now, so it was not too hot at all, which is a big perk. So we've been driving through the day, mostly seeing like cactuses, which in person look very much like they do in video and stuff. And then some different rock areas and stuff. And then someone at the last hotel told us to come to Dateland and have a date shake. So we're gonna try that out. Pretty much it's this building and then a whole bunch of palm trees. The reason we noticed it was because all of a sudden there was like nothing, and then tons and tons of trees, which I'm pretty sure they're just palm trees and not date trees, but I could be wrong. But we're gonna try some of the date shakes and see what that's like. So this is safe for memorizing new smells. Gabriel's back and trying out his date shake.
I actually haven't sucked it yet. This is the abnormally long straw. I can't get it out.
It's pretty thick.
It's really good.
It's weird. It's kind of like gingerbread. Yeah, eating gingerbread cookie dough before you cook it. That's what it tastes like.
So it sounds like the next stop, pretty much on the way, will be our destination, San Diego. So we're into California, and it's all desert right now. Kind of like the sand dunes of New Mexico, except
Water!
these are all look like sand instead of the white sand of New Mexico. So instead we just passed Devil's Canyon over there, Devil's Canyon number 2 actually, but this whole area has crazy rock formations. It's just like huge, looks like pebbles, but they're ginormous everywhere. Well, we made it to San Diego, and Grace is just checking us in at our hotel. It was a pretty awesome journey, but this is really where the fun starts too.